Yep.
All right, everyone, welcome into episode 37, I think, Mike. I'm losing track now where we're so spaced out. Again, everything's just been absolute insanity on my end.
37 sounds right.
I think it's 37. We'll call it the
True,
Rodney Harrison episode.
true Spurs, Ron.
Oh, yeah, even better. Yeah. But we are here, and again,
Sorry,
about a
Shaq has
week.
wings of
Are you seeing this too? Yeah, yeah. Shaq with the dollar bill,
Hopkins.
like bird wings.
Oh,
Yeah, a Hawks. Yeah, Hawk. Fair enough. Yeah. Forget the studios in Atlanta too. But anyway, very prolonged opening here. About a week after our last episode, which is an improvement
okay.
off the one before that. 1 week. Since you looked at me, Mike's been on the West Coast. Actually, he just got back last night, hanging out in L.A. for the past week. So how was that, Mike?
Good. Because GF hadn't seen the family in 15 months, so it's good to get back there. And it's because
Oh
it's not my
yeah.
first trip anymore. It's kind of, the way things go, you kind of feel like a part of the family at this point. Like they're very, they like to make fun of one another. So the fact that I was getting
Right.
getting my own share of jokes, I was like, kind of feel like
You
it.
get catching strays.
Yeah, I was catching my strays, especially from the old grandfather. So
Oh yeah.
that's how you made it.
I'm sure you do less and less touristy stuff too every time you go because
No,
it's like
yeah, like of course, like the first couple times, check boxes, like of course, like do like the Walk of Fame. I haven't done the Hollywood hike yet. That's one thing. It's just usually
okay.
we're up too late drinking, and it's either like Christmas time or June, so it's either like a little chilly or deadly hot. So, but yeah, like I've done all the other touristy stuff, so it's kind of just more of like family time, hanging out in the valley, like a beach day, a Sunday dinner, stuff like that, and a Dodger game.
Yeah, well, yeah, I feel like you got to hit that up every time you're out there.
Yeah.
I know there were rumors of some game 4. I know that ended up coming
Yeah,
to fruition, but
yeah.
fair enough.
My mother's a little crazy. Because last time we saw her was when she was in town. She came to Boston, and we're out to dinner on a Friday, and she was like, "Oh, any teams in town?" And I mentioned that the Celtics were playing the next night, but it was like the Saturday night primetime game, and I was
The
like, "Oh,
Harden Rockets.
yeah." I'm like, "Oh, it's probably pretty expensive," and she's like, "I don't care. Just bought 3 tickets." So like, she likes to spend money with the family, so she like looked into it. And she's like, "That's not that bad." And it was Friday, and it's like, well. I don't want to ruin a beach day because like I know like her friends were coming too, and I'm like, if we're back
Yeah.
in town and timeline mates up, if you want to do it,
Sure.
fine, but like
Sure.
if not, so we ended up staying to the beach till like 6, and like
Right.
that's when the local tip off was. So
Right.
yeah,
No, so I mean, yeah, I think with a good attitude, it's like, hey, if it happens, great. If not,
yeah, that was one thing. I'm
uh,
not saying no, but definitely don't force a day out of it,
yeah,
especially if we're going to a sporting event on Friday. We don't need to go on Saturday.
absolutely, absolutely. I gotta join you out there on one of these trips.
Oh yeah,
For
definitely.
sure.
There's a lot of good vegan spots too, and the vegetarian for Caitlin as well. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. Gotta get in on that. Gotta
And
make
there's
my way.
also kind of hit
Make my way
up a
west.
place I just heard about called Fat Sal's. That's like they have like
I mean, I don't know how that place can't be good.
yeah, it
With
has
that
all
name.
the options. So
Big Italian guy slinging something. Yeah.
no, it's like shakes. Like I got because I knew I was gonna have internet later the week. I was like, okay, let me get a chicken sandwich at this burger place. It was a chicken tender with a burger.
Oh,
So it was like
that's interesting.
it was a teriyaki
Double.
it
Yeah.
was a teriyaki cheeseburger with a chicken finger in it.
Nice.
Yeah. So
This might be the most like freeform we've done in opening an episode. I like it. I'm digging it.
yeah.
As you can see, my background's a little bit different. Just moved into the new house. I say move. I use that term very lightly. Uh, a majority of our things are here, unpacked. That's its own story. Anyone out there who is moving in the near future, and I'd say, maybe your late 20s, maybe even a little earlier. Movers are worth every single penny. It was awesome not having to strain myself, having to recruit people to come help me out on a Friday. Again, just completely worth it. We got all the big bulky items here, and we're kind of just again slowly unpacking because we had a wedding this weekend as well, so I didn't catch too much of game or really either game Friday night or Saturday night. So we'll obviously get to those as we go through here, but I had a lot of fun this week with some friends in town. So kind of a reverse Mike situation where I had some people coming to me versus going out there. So yeah, kind of a jam-packed weekend, and again just kind of going through the move. I know we were just talking about before this. We got the 4th coming up. again, we have this insanely hot weather now, and of course, right when the weekend comes, it's going to be kind of a washout and not too hot here. So, kind of literally puts a damper on things. But we'll see. Hopefully, we get some improvements there for not only us but for everyone. But again, quite the intro there. But I guess we can go ahead and get into some games here, Mike. We're recording now at halftime of the Hawks Bucks game 4 here. The big news coming into the game is, I mean, it sounds like he did everything he could, but Trae Young sitting this one out with an injury, unable to go. I know it was kind of acting up late in game 3 there. He went back to the locker room a few times and, uh, kind of sucks. Because I was saying before, of the 4 teams left, I feel like he's the most important to his team out of all the number ones on a healthy team, if anyone left.
Yeah. So, would you want to tell the story how we got there, going through games 1 through 3, or should we just jump in how we got aggravated there?
No, I guess we could do kind of a brief summary. You're right. So again, yeah, right. Like I said, Trey are not going tonight, but kind of like we've seen them do in a few other series, the Hawks came out and delivered the first punch here, winning game 1 in Milwaukee. You thought, this might be crazy. I think at the beginning this said Bucks in 5. My prediction still holds. It's still holding up at the moment. Again, I know the Hawks out of the gate hot tonight, but again, that kind of set an interesting tone with the Hawks kind of winning game 1 there, seemingly won on the road in Milwaukee there.
Yeah, I mean, I actually was able to watch game 1 pretty in depth, and that was quite a performance by Trae Young. 48, 11, and 7 in game 1 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
He just loves to shout the crowds.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, you're right. He does. He absolutely he plays the heel better than anyone I know, or at least as far as the young guys go today. But yeah, so again, they won a tight one there, 116-113. Then Friday night, the Bucks just came out of the gate completely hot. Again, I know.
No. It was just the Trae Young show in game 1. That's kind of like
absolutely.
Game 2, again, I was going to the Dodger game, and like I said, I had a little free bet, so I made sure to throw in the Dodgers. But I was like, of course, his revisionist history was like going in. I'm like, kind of think the Bucks are they're not going home down. They're not going to Atlanta down 2-0.
Exactly.
So I was like, wonder what the spread is. I'm like, never mind. Like, you're going to one game. Like, once worry about that game. And of course, like, when the car ride over, it was like 74-47. I was like, I was right, because you knew the Bucks were gonna punch back pretty hard. And then game 3, I wasn't able to watch, but just like getting texts from friends that were watching it and like kind of catching up on the social media seemed pretty incredible. Because I think Hawks were in charge of that game until the freak injury by Trae Young. He literally just threw a pass, took a couple steps backwards, landed on a ref's foot, and rolled his ankle.
Mm-hmm. So I actually that's like, again, I feel like I've been nonstop since about Thursday night, and then until pretty much right before game 3. It's when I think it's the first time I've sat down on in a relaxing manner for a long period of time at my house, either the apartment or the new house in again days at that point. So that's when we did kind of sit down and watch. We got some late takeout for that one, but no, it was a good game. Yeah, the Hawks seemed like they were in control. They might go up 2-1 in the series there. But you mentioned that freak injury from Trae Young. It's funny because he's already kind of having injuries. He has almost like these giant brackets. I know they were kind of, I think, talking about it on PNC earlier this week, but like almost like the Forrest Gump like ankle braces. Looked like he just had 2 giant like shoehorns sticking out. So already some maintenance happening to that ankle there, and then, or both ankles really, and then again, the fourth quarter came. He comes out for a little bit, and that's where we got. Again, I know I got big of the legacy games. It was a Chris Middleton legacy game. Goes off for 20 points in the fourth quarter and absolutely lit it up. It was just from downtown. Like anytime it looked like the Hawks might be sticking around or making a bit of a run, he would just absolutely knock down a 3. And Giannis had a good game too. It's not like this is Middleton bailing him out. I think Middleton had finished at 38 and Giannis at 33. So you're talking about 71 points for the two of them in that game. And I think at the end of the day, especially with Trae Young out, it was just an instance of, the better team coming out to play. PJ Tucker also was great. Didn't score much, but, kind of made his impact on the game as well. So, like you said, yeah, the Hawks were in control for a lot of it, but the Bucks were able to kind of pull away late there. But yes, that obviously made the series 2-1. Again, Trae did get hurt. He kind of came in and out of that game a few times. And then, are you laughing at the David Hasselhoff?
Yeah.
gift that came up on TNT for Shaq, making fun of Shaq, and then the Big Bird as well. But yeah, so I put this at tonight, and I was again talking about this before, just because of how important that Trae Young was to this team. Because again, you're seeing what the Clippers are doing without Kawhi. I think Middleton and Holiday to some degree could somewhat carry the Bucks in a Giannis injury instance. Not their best player, but we saw what the Suns have been doing without Chris Paul. So again, Atlanta just seems so different, but they've come out of the gate tonight hot, and they're up 13 points at halftime here.
Yeah, they had to insert. It's good when you lose your star player, you get to insert a nice little veteran into the starting lineup who kind of is playing minutes, not like sparingly, but kind of like, after like some games I'd look, he'd have like 25 minutes of the games. He would have 8. We're talking about Lou Williams here. So he's got inserted the starting lineup. He's already played 17 minutes, and he's 13 points, 4-4 shooting. So he's leading the team with points, and I think if you look at it, it's kind of trying to take a lot of 3-point field goals here. They already taking 18 here. I mean, Bucks taking 22. It's just a 3-point fest over here.
Yeah, Middleton 3 of 10 so far. So it's cooled down since the fourth quarter of game 3 here. But yeah, I mean, you talk about Lou Williams because it's funny because if you think about how much of an impact he made even like a year or two ago, like it was still a solid like 6th man of the year candidate. I think Montrez won it last year before Clarkson, and I think Lou was like 2nd, like or something like that. Like he was still in that mix not too long ago.
Yeah, I think he had a pretty bad bubble if I remember right. I feel like I was always expecting that one Lou Will game, and it just never really happened.
Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. The downturns happened the past like year or so, year and a half. Yeah.
Where just at that point he was like, okay, if I'm gonna stink, might as well stink in Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, back home, and then also kind of like we said before, maybe it's like those games are still there. You just can't grind it out for a 72, 82 game season, and then every day in the playoffs. That's why we're seeing him kind of get sparing minutes. And now it's like, okay, it's almost like the ultimate load management happening here. Yeah. We're seeing with Lou Williams, and maybe he just kind of like saved it all up. But like you said, a good first half tonight for him. So again, good start for the Hawks. You have to think the Bucks have some sort of run in them with Trae Young out of this game. But man, would this be a really, really huge game for the Hawks if they're able to get this one down? Because I think with Trae Young being out, people probably, including myself, think, all right, well, you're not winning tonight, then it's 3-1, and then I really don't see the Bucks blowing that. So I don't think the series is over. But again, that everything completely changes if they're able to steal this game without Trae Young tonight and make it a 2-2 series.
So is this a must win or can't lose?
I think a must win. I think it's a must win.
It's a must win because they're already playing with house money, so it's a can't lose.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. And again, you're with house money, no one expects you to be here, and now you're missing your best player. So no one expects you to win this series now. So that's where we're at on that one. Again, like I said, we'll kind of give updates, even though this doesn't typically get released till the next day. We'll give updates while we have them. And kind of go from there. And then the other series that, again, we figured we'd start with this one because that's the one happening as we're recording here. But the one I'd say is that's probably a little bit more compelling and also a little bit deeper in is the Clippers Suns. So again, just kind of the way everything shook out with the Eastern Conference semifinals, rather, each going 7 games. We had 2 Western Conference games start before the East even started, so they're kind of still at times 2 whole games ahead. So this was a 2-1. We entered last night with the Suns a chance to clinch the Western Conference title and head to the NBA Finals. But again, we'll do a little bit of a rewind there as well. So, and forgive me, like we recorded during game 2, right? During that insanity. I think we logged off with like 3 minutes left. It's like,
I mean,
it's tough.
We stayed on talking after for 45 minutes because it just wouldn't end.
That's true. Part of me almost regrets not staying up. But like, yeah, geez, we would have been just stalling for that long. But and also wanted to enjoy the game because again, as good as kind of recording during these games goes, it's tough to really pay attention. So it's good to kind of get off before there. And then obviously, so I guess we'll start there. The insanity that was the end of game 2, with again just a lot of the back and forth. That's where there was like all those out of bounds plays. Again, the replays that took just absolutely so long. And
the weird like turnover where it's like clearly like definitely slapped out of his hand, but like because it still was in his hand after getting slapped out, like I think it was a PFT at best. We've gone too good at replay. Now we're wrong.
Yeah, it's almost like it was completely Pat Bev's fault that it went out of bounds. He didn't throw it off anyone. It was completely his fault. Yet it technically went off Devin Booker. So yeah, like again, it was just one of those weird plays there. And then I think we were on when that collision happened with Booker and
Mhm.
Pat Bev there, and that was obviously a crazy part of that game as well. And then again, we'll give him his. I want to give him his credit in a bit here, but that's kind of where we saw the pandemic P memes coming out and all the jokes coming out there after the those two missed free throws late in that game.
Yeah, because it really stunk because he was incredible. Because
He had a good game, yeah.
I think it was Bridges hit a three with like a minute and a half left to put them up 6, and George was hitting mid-range jumper. He got a steal and took it right to the basket. Like on the time where he expected all timeout, he just snuck in a layup. So he just dominated a lot.
He had a good fourth quarter, yeah.
If there are 90 seconds left, the first 80, and then kind of just let it slip out of his hands with the double missed free throws.
Yeah, so obviously a 1-point game going into that. Had a chance to not really ice the game, but forcing a 3-pointer just to get overtime for the Suns. And instead, again, I felt like the John Starks moment in that Reggie Miller documentary. So he misses the first free throw. Okay, there's no way he misses the second free throw. There's just no way. He just that doesn't happen. Lo and behold, that's exactly what we see. Misses the second one. Then the Suns have, what was it, about 8 seconds left, I think.
Yeah,
and
great defense in the Clippers. This is when they got Booker
because they forced the ball to Bridges.
They got Booker trapped in the wing with like 4 seconds left. So Bridges had a pretty open shot, great help D, and like the second guy helping was able to hand back to Bridges for the corner 3, missed, then ended up going off, I believe, like Morris's fingertips with like 0.9 seconds left into like the absolute corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then the valley oop.
The valley oop. So again, so the Bridges missed 3, goes out of bounds off of, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Marcus Morris or
yep.
Or
when hosts aren't listening.
What's that? Oh, did you say? Sorry, it's my bad. Jeez, I was looking at I was checking the game 57-50 at the moment. So yeah. Anyway, correction there. All right, we're even now. You had one a couple weeks ago. But anyway, yes, the ball goes out of bounds in that left. It was weird, Mike, because what was it? What did it probably a point, like 0.7? Okay, it's very strange because this is something I wanted to beef with you as well. Yeah, okay. Well, you obviously wasn't paying attention that whole time, but no. I bring up this point for a reason because obviously everyone's expecting the ball to get to Devin Booker, getting a good shot. Instead, they run an amazing play. We get DeAndre Ayton cut into the net. Booker actually set an amazing pick with his busted nose and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So cuts the rim, and again, love that this rule that you can't offensive goaltend on an inbound play, or you can't goaltend in general, I guess. The perfect lob from Jay right over the rim. Ayton catches it, slams it home. And this is why I wanted to bring up the time with you, Mike. How did no time come off the clock? Like it seemed like what was it, 0.1?
0.2.
Still, I don't know, because I feel like even though it was like a quick like dunk, I feel like he still caught the ball, right? Like he didn't tip it, he caught it and slammed it.
It was,
to me, 0.3 minimum should come off there because he caught the ball and shot. Granted, it was the quickest shot possible, but it was a catch and shoot.
I don't have too many gripes there.
What's that?
I don't have too many gripes there.
I mean, again, it didn't end up making any sort of difference, but no, I think they left the Clippers a little bit of time there. But and again, when does the clock stop? Is like when it goes through the cylinder, or like that's something I've never truly, I think, known about basketball.
I thought it was
like when
the bottom of the net, but I think it's through the cylinder.
Through the bottom of the net.
So I think
and then I'm like hitting the ground. Is that coming to? I mean, anyway. But yeah, no, an absolutely amazing play. I love the cutaway of Stephen A. and Mike Wilbon with their jaws pretty much on the floor when that happened. So just an absolutely phenomenal. I mean, yeah, there was another replay there to see how much time was left on the clock. Everything about it. If there could have been a replay, there was a replay. So that's the only thing that kind of took away from the end of that game, but just an insane ending, and already had that immediate nickname with the value, and then obviously put the Suns rather up 2-0. Obviously some pushing and shoving with kind of the usual suspects there: DeMarcus Cousins, Marcus Morris, Rondo kind of getting in some people's faces as well. But again, set the Clippers down 0-2 heading back to LA there after, again, an insane game there. Which game 3 on Thursday night. This is where I was up till about 3 a.m. packing, just trying to get everything in a box that I wasn't able to do previously. So again, I didn't catch too many of the details of that game, but just seemed like it's funny because I feel like all the close games have been going the Suns' way, and then the games that are a little bit more wide open have been in favor of the Clippers, and that's kind of what happened on Thursday night here in CP3's return.
Yeah, it was. So I was on a plane during this game.
Correct.
I watched a movie with the girl for the first bit of the plane ride, and then she kind of wanted to attempt to sleep, so I threw on. I think it was halfway through the third quarter, so I watched that through the end of the game. It was a lot of just kind of poor shooting outside of DeAndre Ayton on the Suns. Booker was 5 of 21.
Yeah, Booker and
5 of 19.
10 to 40. Jeez.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it was just Reggie Jackson, man. Nice, like 9 of 17. He went on some home runs. He did the same thing. I don't get ahead of myself. Oh, Giannis down.
Yeah, I was an update. We got Giannis on the ground holding his knee.
And
he just yelled F-U-C-K. Oh my god. Oh my, how does this keep happening? Come on. Of course, the playoffs that I started to love, everyone's getting injured. I really hope this is just
very concerned.
Yeah, jeez. Let's see. Oof. Jeez, I'm really hoping that's like a what's the term for knee? I'm trying to think. Oh no!
Oh no!
Bad. That's not. I was hoping for a hyperextension. I don't think so. Oh no! Come on, man! You gotta be kidding. This is supposed to be his run. Jesus. You really, really hate to see this. My God. I really hope I'm wrong here. I'm hoping this is
like I thought I saw extension. Something.
Like a knee pop. I don't even know. Jesus. It's his brother.
Yeah.
Look it over here. Getting terrible podcast or radio, whatever you want to call it. But jeez. I'm just so thrown. Oh my God, this is killing me right now. Truly, too, seems like, again, of the star players, especially one of the like nicest guys in the league too. Just like a real likable guy.
Well, because like I don't know, I was thinking like, of course, like how much like I like the Suns, and even like I guess like it would be nice for Paul George or even like this Hawks team. It's like I wouldn't hate if like this was just Giannis's time.
Mm-hmm. One thing, he's up.
Yeah,
which is
I thought I saw like a. I couldn't tell if it was just shifted padding or something like that. I thought I saw like a bone and like stick out of the sock. Like I mean, like through the sock, but like kind of like.
Mm-hmm. Jeez, this is awful. He's walking. He's limping a lot, and he's got his brother helping him, but he's walking. Gee, I'm really hoping for like a hyperextension or something.
Yeah.
Man. Let's see, I wish I could hear. I wish I had the audio on or anything. The only downside of doing this podcast here.
Crazy. If you just, how quick Twitter is. If you do type in Giannis, it always says Giannis injury already.
Yeah, I saw Big Cat's cancel the playoffs already, but jeez, this is not right. Don't like it.
Anyway, he got to the locker room, but he's stopped.
Yeah. What a warrior, though. Jeez.
True Giannis.
That picture. This reminds me of the Carmelo picture, too.
I can only think of what was it? How many Tyler assists? 100? Thousands?
He's walking right now. No one's helping him. Again, clear limp, a very clear limp, but he's walking off under his own power right now. He sent his brother back on the court. So, all right, well, we'll keep an eye on that one. Obviously that kind of changes everything about this game. Sure, the players on both sides are going to be a little, off. We might see a bit of a low scoring rest of the game here, but okay, currently 62-52 Hawks in the lead with 7:14 left in the third. At least that's what I got on my end.
Yep.
And we'll kind of keep that. We'll keep an eye on the Giannis situation, but I can't even remember why we were lost somewhere in I think game 3.
I think we're just kind of talking about Reggie Jackson.
Yes.
9-17. I feel like it wasn't a lot of it was a lot of slow runs. I realized it was like the end of the third quarter, start of the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Suns kept getting it back within 5 points. So I feel like I'm just talking about games 3 and 5 right now together. Sorry to get ahead.
That's okay. Because game 4 seemed like a dud, right? I mean,
I watched the end of it. It was, I think the Clippers had 10 shots to tie the game or take the lead, and they missed all of them.
Yeah.
84 points. Again, I only caught the end of it, and it was just
they just couldn't close the gap.
There was a lot of bad basketball, and then finally, I think the Clippers had the ball at the. Mm-hmm. I think they were down by 3, and someone shot a 3. Cousins got a rebound, and they were smart and immediately fouled him.
Mm-hmm.
And on the second free throw, he got the ball back and tried to chuck it at the rim real quick, but he threw it so high, he threw it above the square. It was not even funny. It was just oh crap! Well, this game's over. So that was a dead bet. So Suns, those are the other Suns wins, and then games 3 and 5, I feel like was a lot of just Reggie Jackson going on some runs. Anytime it got within 5, I feel like he would hit a big three, get a nice steal, go for a nice layup. But yeah, so that's my end. So
yeah, I mean,
unmodulated. We lost our rhythm with an injury. But.
That's fine. I mean, I think we can kind of almost get into last night's game. Just because, like you said, Thursday night was kind of just the Clippers just. I mean, they didn't really dominate, but they just kind of distanced themselves after a poor shooting night. I think you kind of pretty much just summed up what happened at the end of game 4 there. So I do want to quickly hone in on Reggie Jackson there, who is going to get paid this offseason with the free agency coming up.
It really happened for him. I think back in 2018, he was considering retirement due to his knee injuries. So.
Yeah, geez. I mean, I obviously love him. My fellow alum there, BC guy there. The only, what's that? Yeah. I did like the it's Reggie Jackson time joke, but anyway, it's funny too because actually I was randomly looking up his Wikipedia because I was trying to remember because he actually left right before I went there, and I looked. This must be new because you people being able to edit Wikipedia. Someone just says Reggie Jackson, also known as Mr. June, a play on, of course. Yeah, he's walking back out. He's walking back out. This is unbelievable. I mean, I don't know. It could have just looked way worse than it was, but
yeah.
For a while, yeah, I know what you mean, Mike. It almost looked like his knee, was way out in front of where the rest of his leg was. It looks weird.
Well, I mean,
but he's walking out here
on a massive run right now. Let me see if they hit this. Yep, they're up 20 points right now. They've won on an 11.
Oh, up that 3 go in. Okay, yeah. No, you said 20, and I saw Pat got it to take it to 3 up 17, so that makes sense.
So
this is insane
at this point, you just pulled the Reggie Miller.
You got to go one way or the other. Either you go Reggie Miller or he's going to try to go Willis Reed / Isaiah Thomas Pistons type deal here. But I think if you're not 20, Bud should tell him not to play. I think just punt on this 3-game series. You got home court, best of 3. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, so Reggie Jackson again, Mr. June. But so which brings us to last night. Obviously, 3-1 hole back in the desert. Suns a chance, like I said, to close things out. And again, I was trying to do some stuff around the house for the first half, even into the third, but I turned the volume way up so I could kind of listen. Clippers came out of the gate hot. I mean, they came out, I think it was an 18-5 start for them. So even when the Suns kind of made their little runs here and there, I see you're giggling about something already.
I was just checking back to see if there's any updates on Twitter. It was a tweet from one of our favorite followers, Kyle. Let's all pretend these playoffs didn't happen except for the fact that Utah lost in 6.
It depends on who wins. No, that's the. Oh, okay, all right. We'll kind of sum it up at the end, the whole grand scheme of these playoffs thing. But anyway, again, 18-5 start for the Clips, and so the Suns made runs. Even took the lead, I think, briefly later in the game, but I think that start was just so important because again, the Clippers down 3-1, and again, you had to do that because again, when the Suns made these runs here, I know Booker had a good. They was trying to hook and ladder at the end of the first half. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, to set up a nice Booker three that I think that really cut the lead down. But yeah, it's like it kind of it built up a lot of that a lot of what's what I'm looking for insurance kind of early on in this game. And yeah, the Suns they made their runs. Book hit some big threes there. There was a lot of Pat Bev versus CP3 action going on.
Oh, it's a little like arm flailing.
Yeah. Pat Bev kind of just seems like bizarro Reggie Jackson. Like they just like completely opposite. Like, oh, he's really good at offense. He's good at defense. Like the hair's wild on Pat Bev. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, I was just.
I think I saw a quote was like, "Why did Pat Bev do that? Me every single time I watch Pat Bev."
Exactly. So yeah, he had kind of a again those two were kind of going at it, and again early I get it. There's 1 or 2 games left in the series, but how about some early redemption for Paul George? Goes off for 30 points in the second half, 41 on the game, and really just again with the help of Reggie Jackson, just absolutely willed this team to victory in the second half here.
Yeah, I know it's crazy how right now how important Valiup is, and and eking out an ugly victory in Game 4. Like that's the lowest points by anyone this year.
That's what I'm saying. The two.
So like those are so important now. Like I guess you can think like, oh, the Suns 1-5. It's like could have gone 7, but Suns probably would have won. But now it's like, holy crap! Like they might be needing every single win.
If you were doing, correct me if I'm wrong, but
also you got to say, if they can pull this off, Ty Lue, man, king of the 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, he's proven. And again, I think for a lot of times he was seen as LeBron's like puppet or whatever, and then especially since things fell apart fast after he left. LeBron left Cleveland, it was like, oh, was this just like a one-time thing? But now without Bron, and again for the most part now without Kawhi, showing a lot of the adjustments, I think he's proving to be a top coach in the league for sure. And we did see Giannis just walk back to the locker room. I don't know if again Bud did get that kind of same idea. It's like, hey, maybe they can somehow cut this down to like 5 or 8 without Giannis. I don't know. But anyway, it seems like he's at least out for the game here. But again, if we were doing the soccer aggregate, would the Clippers be leading this series? I think they would.
Yeah, because Game 1 ended up getting kind of close, right?
I'm looking this up right now.
They're up by 10 most of the game, and then end up only winning by 4.
Suns won by 6, by 1, and by 4, and the Clippers have won by 14 and 14.
Yes. 11 for the Suns, and then 28.
28. Yeah, they're leading this series by 17 points. So again, it's just been the two more lopsided, if you want to call them, games have belonged to the Clippers. So again, you talk about the importance of the value, and those 2 missed free throws. Unfortunately for Paul George, we might be talking about a different series here, especially like you said, they had chances in Game 4 as well. So been a weird one. It's one that the Suns could win in 6, but even that I don't think truly tells a story about how close it was. But yeah, Paul George was knocking down threes. Also a pretty good game for Boogie Cousins. I think he knocked in 12 points.
Yeah, I was really
in the effort last night.
Her staff, so I was getting back to her place, but she had some work to do for her class. So
yeah,
to finish the game before I went to bed.
Yeah, because obviously no.
And I think I was
obviously no Zubac.
I was very confused in the box score when I saw like the first half. Cousins had like 6 minutes, and he had like points on like 7 shots. And like, what is
efficient? Yes.
I was like, geez, did they just run the offense through him for 6 minutes straight and then took off the court?
Yeah. But yeah, so again, that's where we are now. We have Game 6 coming up tomorrow night in LA. And I don't know, I guess so that kind of wraps up again where we are with those series. And I did want to briefly kind of hit back in on just the overarching theme of this, because we're seeing a lot of it floating around online. I've heard of from some friends as well. Is this being a fake, or you want to call it a Mickey Mouse ring? It's just like, well, why? Because people got hurt. Like, I don't like last year it was in a bubble. Like, again, I'm still gonna obviously count that, but like I see the argument there. There were no fans. It was weird. Yeah, no travel. Again, no one getting in your head. Like, that I kind of see. But like, what happened? Like, there was nothing. I don't know. Teams got hurt. They lost. Like the better team. Like just because our usual suspects aren't here. Like I don't get it.
You could argue that every ring that hasn't been LeBron or the Warriors in the past, like whatever has been Mickey Mouse. It's like, okay,
yeah, this is like true, like chips on the table. Who's the better team? Yeah,
you're like the Raptors. Like, oh, Durant didn't get hurt. Like that's just one injury, but
yeah. yeah, the super teams before that. I'd say LeBron Cleveland was probably pretty legit. But yeah, like you said, again, super teams for the two Warriors. Even the Warriors before that one was like that was like you didn't know. I mean, they were going in. You faced like in LeBron's first year back in Cleveland. They were coming off not making the playoffs. I think the year with Mark Jackson as the coach. So again, even if you go far, not even that far back, but like yeah, like the few years kind of I don't know. It's just like it's weird. Injuries happen. I mean, like this happens in every sport. So I don't know. That's just my take there. I'm considering this. I say this as Giannis goes down and Trae Young sitting on the bench as well. But I think if Giannis is able to come back and they make it, and then you get either Kawhi back or this fully strength Suns team, like it seems legit to me. That's all I'll put out there. I guess we can quickly go around the league too with some coaching hires. I guess we'll lead with the one that happened. I think it was it right after we recorded or the day after we recorded, Udoka?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Celtics obviously going with Ime Udoka, the assistant for the Nets. Again, the biggest name out there, at least as far as familiarity goes. But I think early on, just from every indication I've got, I mean, very untested, so it's tough to say if it's a good or bad hire. But again, it seems like someone who's very hungry, obviously on the younger side, only 43 years old. Worked with a lot of these guys on the Team USA side of things. And I don't know, overall, yeah, I like it. I think it's a good fit and a good hire here.
Yeah, the fact that even though we like to think that they all hated Kyrie, I think they kind of liked Kyrie. So the fact that he came from Brooklyn, coaching superstars there on the bench definitely helped. Coming from Pop, like he's got a lot of good experience. And again, the fact that it's always those guys you never really heard of that you kind of like. I think
know, yeah.
People say like right now, they're locking in like Garrett Temple to be like an amazing coach or something like that. I think you're looking at so
talks of us getting Damon Stoudemire too, I think.
Yeah, I like that. That'd be a good addition to the staff.
But yeah, so again, Udoka, and then obviously the most important thing is bringing Nia Long, his partner. So she's already been started following her on Instagram. She's been posting in the jersey. Posted a lot at the ceremony yesterday. So huge fan of Nia Long joining the Celtics family as well.
Yeah, Nia Long, Anna Horford's back. Okay,
yeah,
quite the crew now.
Yeah, we're stocked. So that's the hire there. Having to Spice Adams.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's hilarious. Then I'm trying to think going around the league quick. Obviously, the most recent one was Chauncey Billups in Portland. So we'll see how that works. I know there's again a lot going on there with the whole Dame situation. Seeing if kind of what goes down there. We'll obviously keep an eye on if Dame stays there or goes on the move. Then I'm trying to think. We had Rick Carlisle to Indiana, Jason Kidd to Dallas. Were there other ones that have come through? I can't even.
There were rumors of Penny going back to Orlando, but that
Penny back to the Magic.
Yeah, but he's saying Memphis. Well, Memphis Tigers, that is.
I think it's a smart move for him. Build it up a little bit. The Magic will probably need to coach another 3 years, right? Like
I think I saw fellow Magic follower, fan that I follow, Scooter McGregor, saying he's like I feel like this next guy is just the bridgey coach that gets fired in like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that maybe when you see Penny come in then, but
I feel like they could bring like Lloyd Pierce.
Yeah. But I don't know. I still want to see Becky Hammond get a job. Hopefully one of these openings work. I don't know how many are even left right now, but I know we have the Magic.
New Orleans?
Yes. New Orleans is open. I'm trying to think.
It's less advertised as NFL, so it's kind of hard to keep track of.
Yeah. Who's the Thunder coach? I don't even know. Rockets? No, they have their guy. That was last year.
Yeah.
That was last year. A year off. And the Pistons still have. Do they still have Dwayne Casey?
Yeah, I think they still like him.
I'm just trying to think of really bad teams right now. Like who was in the lottery. Anyway, so we'll see what's open as far as vacancies go. But yeah, we'll see what goes down there, obviously. But as far as the finals go too, I'm wondering if we're gonna get our if we get a Suns Hawks somehow. I feel like that's your ultimate unstoppable force meets a movable object type finals, right? The Suns are on this roll, but the Hawks just won't budge. Like they will not go home. But yeah, again, we'll see how things shape up. It's still up 20 here with, as we get towards the end of the third. Certainly seems like Giannis is back in the locker
Chris
room for
Dunn?
good. So what did you say?
Is that Chris Dunn?
What number?
32.
32 on what team?
Hawks.
I don't even see. I see 22. Oh, damn! Is that? Yeah, it might be. I'm seeing old Celtic great Jeff Teague out him before right now.
Yeah, I see K Dunn. Yeah, hey, Chris Dunn.
Man, all right. But yeah, so we'll see how things shape up here. Again, could be heading 2-2 going back to Milwaukee. Could be having pretty much a best of 3. And game 5, regardless, will be on Thursday night. So keep an eye on that one. I think for both sports, July 4th is off. I think that's going to be just like a baseball day probably. I think I looked at both calendars, both basketball and hockey. So I think if there would be a game 7 for – actually, no, either way, would both series be done by Sunday? I'm trying to even – no, because this one's so far behind. I keep forgetting. Game 5 would be Thursday. Game 6 would be Saturday.
Right.
I guess they'd be off Sunday anyway, but regardless. All right. Well, now I guess we should hop into hockey here as we're in the Cup. The finals has happened. Seems like a Bruins fan's kind of worst nightmare going on right now as far as who to root for. Because, again, I think all 4 teams are still alive. Last time we talked, I'm not entirely sure about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, I believe, 3-2, 3-2. Or
yeah.
It was 3-2, 2-2 with the Canadians up in Vegas. So they switched to Leonard in game 4, won in overtime, and they switched back to Fleury. And remember talking about like how Fleury had like 3 goals on like 17 shots.
Yeah. Which truly ended up being their downfall. Seems like.
Yeah.
The path was certainly there for them.
Well, I believe won the Vezina today, which is kind of weird to hear.
Hockey's so weird with stuff like that. Oh my god. Yeah, a guy who wins pretty much like the Cy Young, and then just like isn't in the rotation. Like, imagine like someone winning the Cy Young and they're not being in the rotation. It's essentially like that.
Yeah, and then other awards, McDavid was the unanimous winner.
So second MVP.
At least, yeah. Honestly.
I think I saw that headline. But yeah, so the Canadiens end up winning that series in 6. And yeah, I can't even say conference finals because there's what's that? Sorry,
one pretty early into overtime. So
yeah, and that because I'm trying to do math again. So what night was that Thursday night?
It was Thursday.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember had my friend Tyler was pretty sad getting all these like when you turn off airplane mode when all the text rolling. It's like
they'll just file
like the nights like dun like
yeah. So again, can't even quite say conferences because it's really just the 2 divisions. But the Canadiens get in, trying to get the country of Canada their first cup since 93, and was it them?
Yeah,
I think it was them in 93. Yeah, so they were obviously in. Then Tampa was up 3-2 heading into Wednesday night, going into the Nassau Coliseum. Didn't know if it was going to be the last game there or not. Islanders get a huge win in that one. Did that one go to overtime, or was that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was Wednesday. I remember I watched the game 1, and I had to pack my bags for the trip. And before I can even get everything set up to go, the Islanders forced game 7 with their quick overtime victory. Both game 6 had very quick goals to either clinch.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. I threw the game on. I went to get a glass of water in the kitchen or something, and I missed it. I came back and it was already done. Cam Reddish going off too. Jeez. So yeah, 25-point lead here for the Hawks at as the third quarter ticks down. But yeah, so that again, the barn was rocking on Wednesday night.
Ralph Macchio was there.
Was he really?
Oh, isn't that like a thing? It's like a time machine when you go there. I thought people seeing that's like the small, it's like smaller than a TV, and like 80 stars like pumping up the crowd.
That's actually really funny. But yeah, so that set that up, and then 1 goal was scored in game 7, and it was by the Tampa Bay Lightning there. So that set up
Oh
in
my fucking god! I need a pause.
why? All right, so we're back.
I think
So
I thought I saw a mouse in my room. I'm 99% sure I saw a mouse in my room. My first reaction was rat, but
yeah, I think we got that on before you hit the end record
yeah,
or
it
pause
was
record.
a little bit smaller. It really caught me by surprise. If you can see here, that little space between my bed and the TV.
So we've downgraded from rat to mouse.
So I saw it crawl. I smelled the urine jack. Lifted up the bed a little bit, couldn't find anything. So it has to be a mouse because like mouse can get through like tiny cracks into walls.
I'm still sus on this whole thing. I think it was like dust or something. The look you're giving me right now. I'm mostly kidding, but
We have Lightning Habs game 1. They won.
yeah, let's not back in. Yeah. So that obviously went to the Lightning. What was that? What was the final last night?
4-1.
Oh God. 5-1.
Ah.
ENG maybe? I don't know. But anyway, where do you land in this whole debate of who's more detestable or like
I think Montreal's a likable team, but I'm probably rooting for Tampa at this point just because
yeah.
like they're
Or rooting
just insanely good, so it's like hard to be like okay, like they're just that good.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because I'm not like again hockey's not like one of my my top sports. I don't know if it's because I'm not watching every single game and maybe I would feel a certain way about Tampa, but I'm just like the level of fandom I'm at. I'm just like again, I feel like I was probably at my peak kind of right on the cup. It's just like I don't know. I just remember watching those games and just being pissed off at those uniforms, the building, everything about it. So I just I don't know. I guess go Lightning. I don't know. Just again, that's why I was hoping for either of the other teams to make it, either the Knights or the Islanders. But obviously we didn't get that. So yeah, just one game in, but Tampa came out in full force and gave it a 5-1 win there. So we'll track the rest of that one. But kind of that's where we're at now. We talked about a couple of the awards there, but we'll see how the rest of this series goes. See if Tampa kind of keeps dominating, or if Montreal's able to even things up or get back in it in some way. But I think that kind of sums it up for hockey. Again, we did have a bit of a delay there. And again, I think basketball and hockey kind of dominating the headlines right now. We can get into some MLB, Mike. I know some team from New York was in over the weekend. It didn't seem to go too well for them, though.
Yeah, so right before that, it was a tough 2 out of 3 we lost down in Tampa. So we needed a good bounce back, especially after the way the third game ended with Pavetta having 6 2/3 no hitting.
Oh, can I rant about that real quick?
Walking.
Again, I'm not saying. No, I'd even say this. Even like I'm already talking about the in saying like Edwin Jackson 160 pitch no hitters. Like, can we give guys like I think it's become so soft because the crazy thing is later that night we had a no hitter technically, and I think our guy Carrabba said it too. We were talking about no hitters kind of like losing their steam, but like he had to take the combined no hitters do nothing for him, and I could not agree more. It is the lamest thing in the world. These combined no hitters, like what. We're just getting so soft, and I hate it. That's my probably one of my bigger complaints about baseball is like it's become such a like less about the starter, and it's become so like bullpen focused and all these. I don't know. I hate that. So between the Pavetta thing and then the Cubs combined no hitter, it's just awful. And now we've Clint Capella down too. Why is he still playing right now? Is the real question. Jeez. So we'll keep an eye on Clint as well. But yeah, I had a rant on that quick before we got into both. Obviously a good series last week with the Rays. It's just the Yankees thing so fresh and so delicious right now. So I had to mention that kind of to lead off here for baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, so tough 2 out of 3 losing there, especially on a walk-off wild pitch like by Barnes. They lost 1-0. So they had to come back into Boston. And luckily, when you have a loser franchise coming to town, you can kind of just whoop on them, get the
get the confidence back.
Yeah,
because there's obviously a 2-team race in the AL East as usual with the Sox and Rays in the mix here. So
They just won tonight, so they're taking the first 2 against Kansas City. So now they're on a 5-game winning streak. So
Nice. Absolutely love to see it.
So yeah, I mean,
And
again, with being again on the West Coast with the 4 p.m.s and 1 p.m. and 10 a.m. first pitches for
yeah,
where you missed some of the action. But I think the real story was Sunday afternoon, just dismantling Garrett Cole,
who?
the highest pitcher
Spider Tag guy.
for Pete's sake.
I still haven't seen that clip. I keep looking it up, and it's all these like long clips. I'm like, I don't feel like watching this thing, but I do need to get a soundbite of that. That's so awesome. And it brings up a good point. Like again, I've been listening to some of the sports radio, and it's just like, well, like what if he's just never the same? It's like, can the Yankees file some sort of like fraud case? Because it's like he kind of like cheated everyone out of what was expected there. At least with Garrett Richards, it's like $10 million. You can kind of get over that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, Cole certainly looking like a shell of himself. I mean, it's kind of early on in this this new testing process here. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's very interesting to see. The Yankees are seem like an absolute mess. It seems like Boone's probably got to be out the door soon, hopefully, for their sake, I guess. But
yeah, Cashman called him out this afternoon.
Another guy who might be out of a job.
Yeah, well, they had a nice win today. Put up a lot of runs against the Angels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sorry, I'm watching the game now. They kind of took out all the starters right after the Clint Capella injury, and I'm trying to figure out who this guy on the Bucks is running the point. But yeah, so again, obviously things are looking up, like you said, for the Sox. I'd say, and again, Mike can kind of go through usual if you want to there, but yeah, I think Cubs combined no hitter was something that was a big one, or kind of like, again, I guess a storyline there. And I just the 2 names that are jumping off the page for me are Ohtani and Schwarber, just both been kind of on tears.
We'll keep it kind of like the usual division by division. So we kind of hit up the AL East. So Sox now in a 5-game winning streak at 49-31, 2 games up in the Rays. White Sox still leading it, but the Indians hanging around. I mean, we went Bieber on the IL. And really scary collision for Josh Naylor, the outfielder, on Sunday. So hope he's okay. So it's kind of 2 teams in the top division. Astros at one point, I believe, I think it ended this weekend, but they won 11 straight games. So they've kind of hopped the A's there. Had a nice series, Battle of the Bay this weekend. And they were able to salvage game 3 to avoid a sweep. So we'll get back to the Giants in a little bit. So that's kind of the rest of the AL West. So now I just got to lead to Ohtani, who had another 2 home runs tonight. I believe he's up to 27 now in the year. Ridiculous. I know they did end up losing that game to the what's it called? To the Yankees. So and
that team, right?
Yeah, speaking of no hitters, German Marquez is now 3 outs away from no hitter himself.
Pull him.
He has 86 pitches. So
the too many. Gotta pull him.
Bring the closer. Pirates booty looking pretty good. Yeah, so that's kind of wraps up the AL real quick, and then these Nationals, man, I think they've won 14 out of the last 17, all led by
Schwarber.
I think now it's because he had another one tonight, so now I think it's 16 home runs in his last 18 games.
Insanity.
Guess who decided to pick him up after a couple games?
What did you say?
Decided to pick him up after I saw he had 4 home runs in 3 nights. So I was like, I'll ride out this hot stretch.
Team heads first.
The Prestige Worldwide is rocking it. Yeah. Of course, I also own Ohtani. So
that reminds me, and
I have 7 home runs through 2 nights.
Not to brag, but I feel like with the move and everything, I've just been pretty much just making sure I started everyone every day. But I don't think I've made a roster move in weeks that I'm somehow in first place. So
he was the only guy I ever picked up. And it's outside of people getting hurt. He's the only guy. I only made it due to injuries. I only picked him up because Kyle Tucker went on the COVID list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, the best thing COVID ever did to me.
glad you're not too affected by it. But Yeah. So again, yeah. Obviously, Schwarber's on an absolute tear now. Mets still holding on to first place though. Um, Obviously, Degrom's just not a human, but that's just
Yeah,
kind of
I mean,
more of the same there.
I think he gave up a couple runs the other day, but it was all right.
Yeah. One thing I did want to visit though, while we are, especially while we're in the NL East here, how about that whole Girardi versus Scherzer thing from last week with
Yeah,
the checking him?
it's definitely testing a lot of people's patience. Scherzer's going mad out there.
Yeah.
Oh, forgot to mention back in the AL West, I think it was Hector Santiago, or what's his name?
Oh yeah. What's the latest with that? Because I know he got thrown out and suspended right because of that, but he's claiming it's just sweat and rosin.
Yeah, he got ejected from the game. Hector Santiago, he got ejected from the game, and I think it's in this like plastic Ziploc bag and going for evidence. So
yeah,
we'll see what the jury says.
Yeah, but obviously, yeah. Like I think a lot of this is it's tough because a lot of it is just kind of holding these guys accountable uh and all that, but also just like like the middle of an inning thing and like the coaches being able to do that. I think there should be some sort of downside. Like if he's clean, like ejection, like fine, suspension, something like there should be some sort of risk. Like there's no downside to Girardi doing it. It's like, well, it's like if you're gonna call me out on some BS, like if I don't have anything on me, like what are you just gonna do this forever? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like I think it was on Sunday or something, or it was a random day game. I think the Phillies were down like 12-4, so they put in a second baseman. And after he walked off the mound, they're checking him for sticky stuff. It's like,
oh my god,
it's like, dude, you really think
dude probably has like seeds in his back pocket. That's it.
Yeah, it was like he pitched the bottom of the eighth just so they can get out of town.
Yeah. Like what are we doing here? It's crazy. Anyway, I just wanted to bring up that note because that happened. I think like again a day or two after we recorded last week.
Yeah, so that kind of wraps up there, and then big series with the Cubs and the Brewers right now in Milwaukee. Brewers are able to win game one. They're riding a nice 6-game winning streak where it kind of went downhill for the Chicago Cubs after that no-hitter because yours truly when it popped into LA.
You were in the building?
Yes. So that was a nice 6-2 W. And Bellinger to walk off on Saturday. And they just destroyed them on Sunday Night Baseball. Went 7-1 to win 3 straight. And then they lost the opener to the Brewers yesterday. So that now the Brewers have a nice 4-game lead when that was kind of tied for first around this time last week. So a lot can happen in a week, especially when it's a 6-game winning streak with a 4-game losing streak that can kind of really flip the standings a little bit. Yeah, and staying out in the NL, so kind of go in the segue with the Dodgers. A nice, after losing 3 straight, getting swept in San Diego by the Padres, and then getting no hit, they're able to bounce back pretty well. Completing the series sweep, I have to say, when I'm in LA, like physically through the entire day, they're 9-0 with like 7 walk-offs. Or like, I think the Sunday Night Baseball they won 7-1, and that was the only game that wasn't a game-winning home run in the 8th or a walk-off when I'm in town. So
your presence is felt.
Yeah. And then they have a big series right now in LA against the Giants, who are the only team with 50 wins right now. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Padres. They're in third place, with the record's actually solid. They'd be leading three divisions right now.
Just the Giants just like kind of going off because that big swing game in that series was Saturday. It was a real back and forth extra inning game that the Giants were able to pull out. So.
Yeah, and also I wanted to hit on a quick All-Star note. So they're doing finalists now. I found that kind of weird.
I think it's kind of like get your expectations down. Just another like post to make. Like.
Also, can I do another segment of Old Man Yelling at Cloud?
Go for it.
I don't even have as much of a problem with the jerseys. I didn't look at them too closely, but my problem is they're wearing them during the game now.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. Like, no, give me the classic AL wears the grays and NL wears the whites or vice versa, depending on where it is. Yeah, I think they're wearing them during the game on top of being atrocious, which again, I don't even care about if they're wearing them for the home run derby or whatever. I don't, or warm ups. I don't care how bad they are. It's the fact that they're wearing them during the game. Like that's not what we do here.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm out on that. I actually don't think they're that bad if they were just like what he wore during the Derby.
Right. Exactly. I don't care. Exactly. No. I don't want them during the game, which again can be kind of a fun time. So
Yeah, 'cause I kind of like,
that's what.
Like let's say the Angels are hosting, seeing like that the Red Sox home white, like in like a nice like West Coast
Yeah.
like 5 p.m. first pitch. It's like
Pops. Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. We also have a final in Atlanta, 110-88. Lemon Pepper Lou dropping 21 points. So that series tied 2-2 heading back to Milwaukee. Like I said, best of 3 starts on Thursday there. Shaq really pumped for the Hawks right now. He's throwing down the A's. Again, we hit the Wings earlier. So again, we have a 2-2 there and 3-2 for the Suns and Clippers. So both series going to go at least 6 here. But yeah, I think that kind of wraps things up for baseball. We'll see where the All-Star Red Sox have 4 finalists, right? Between Bogarts, Devers, Martinez, and Verdugo. Looks like if results go according to just like who led, it would probably be Bogarts and Devers both getting starts there. So we'll obviously keep an eye on that as we inch closer to the game in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can wrap up with a few miscellaneous notes. I guess we can kind of stick in the baseball world and go to the College World Series. What time does this game start tonight, Mike? Because I looked a few minutes ago, it was like the 4th inning.
It was the 7th, but there was like a rain delay. That means it was weird. I've seen pictures of people actually at the game.
Cutler.
And it was like 7:10, sunny skies with a tarp still on the field. It was just like seems like they've been mismanaging this College World Series.
Because can you explain what happened on Friday night into Saturday with NC State? They just got like kicked out of the tournament essentially because of COVID.
Yeah, they played Friday afternoon with 13 players. Okay. So I watched that game and like I don't know, it was kind of like at any point like it was pretty close the entire game. I think Vanderbilt was pulling away at the end of it after a great start by Kumar Rocker, but
yeah,
it was kind of like, hey, at any point if they just want to forfeit, they can. Like, let's say like the game went a different way. Like Rocker started, and they played enough of it to waste him because like the next night would have been because they had 0 losses, Vanderbilt only had 1, so that was a do or die for Vanderbilt. If not, they were going to come back the next day. So it's like okay, like I think like going in, they're like, oh, at the very least they're gonna try to waste Kumar's start, but it was like still like a 2-1 game in like the 7th inning, and then Vanderbilt was able to pull away. And then like later on that night, I think they just got the word that they had like another positive test or 2, so they had to cancel. I don't know. It seems like a lot of people are mad. I don't. Get too close to the story,
but it's almost like March Madness. Like, all right, the show's got to go on here. You know what I mean? Like with Oregon having a ballot of that one. So it's just it seems like a similar type of deal. But obviously sitting at Vanderbilt, Mississippi State now. I don't know if you had anything else along the way that you wanted to touch on, but it's fun.
Kind of just like a wild game for Mississippi State got there. They had a walk-off win, I believe, against Texas to punch their ticket. So that's how the other half of the bracket got there. Then game 1, Jack Leiter, 6 innings, 8 Ks, 2 earned, another great start. Gave up a dinger in the first, and you're like, oh God, is the Mississippi State gonna defeat one of their aces in game 1? And then the Vanderbilt went off for 7 runs in the bottom of the first. So that game got out of hand quickly. It looks like Mississippi State's 5-1 right now.
It's 5-1. So a few notes on this game. First, I joked that it was the 4th, and I think you were still dealing with the mouse incident. It's still the 4th, so it was from top to bottom. They were reviewing something early on when all the bases are loaded for Mississippi State trying to extend their lead. So I'm 100% not making it to this game. Just going to assume Mississippi State wins. Hope it all goes to plan. Then we get Kumar tomorrow night. I guess that could be cool.
It's on Friday, so that would add up.
Another note, I did see on the bottom line, Marquez did allow a hit in the 9th inning for the Rockies. And then a final note, I saw someone in the stands wearing a Heinz ketchup shirt, and I need to find that and obtain that for myself.
I guess the final note is Mississippi State is one of 3 Power 5 schools not to have a championship in any sport.
Really?
Yeah.
How many?
3.
Oh, okay. Oh, any sport. All right. That's not BC. We got hockey. All right. Yeah. Do you have all 3?
Yeah.
Oh man. And a Power 5.
That's the lone SEC school, and the other 2 are Big 12 and ACC.
Is one TCU. Damn, they
won
baseball. What's that?
Close.
Close. Texas Tech.
Not on the way you're going right now.
Not in the way that I'm going. Oh, who I trying to get my conferences lined up now. Who else? Like, are you talking like going like the added? Because the only one that I was associated with TCU was Baylor, and they obviously just won, so not them. I think added at the same time.
Why don't I just tell you?
Why did I just tell you? Wait, what was the other conference?
ACC.
ACC.
This one was more shocking.
This one's more. The ACC one's more shocking.
Yeah.
Wake Forest. Hit me with both.
First one was K-State, just because purple.
Okay, all right.
And then Virginia Tech.
Oh wow. Yeah, I would have thought like football in like 1950 something or whatever. But interesting fact there. All right. So we got a few finals. Again, Euros going on. Haven't had a chance to watch. I watched our first game today. Kind of had the stream on during work here, and again inching closer to having the Euros come home. England with a 2-0 win over Germany today. My boy Raheem Sterling dropped his third goal. I think he had the first 3 goals of the tournament for England, and then Harry Kane finally broke through in the Euros with his second goal. Between that, Thomas Muller, one of the names I actually remember from the Germany squad, kind of missed a pretty open shot to try to tie it at 1 before Kane knocked in the second one there. But it is England moving on to the next round. I believe to face Ukraine now, who were able to beat Sweden in the second.
Yeah, that was like
goal
like 120th minute.
Yeah. So some of my friends are talking about like boring, but pretty good game. So we're down to our final 8 now.
Yeah, the round of 16, I guess, pretty wild. Was I think Czech Republic was a pretty big upset over Netherlands. Belgium.
Has England not let up a goal yet?
Huh?
Did I read that right? Has England not let up a goal yet or something?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
And then Belgium's pretty good, but the fact that Portugal losing in the round of 16 is kind of bad for France after their World Cup victory, losing to Switzerland.
I think we got a lot of good matchups, in this round, weirdly enough.
And I think Spain had to really hold off Croatia because.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Croatia.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Croatia was down 3-1, scored in the 85th and stoppage time and forced extra time. Then Spain scored 2 in stoppage time.
Yeah, so confirming now, England's had 1-0, a 0-0 tie, 1-0 win, and then now a 2-0 win. So they've let up 0 goals. They're 4-0 for the tournament, and Raheem Sterling has 3 out of the 4 goals.
Is that David Seaman?
I saw something today. It's like Jordan something. Anyway. But yeah, so I'm hoping, so we'll get some England up. Yeah, big on Belgium. I like them too. England, if we could somehow get England, Belgium.
Well, I think that's the marquee game. Belgium versus Italy seems like they've. If you look at their record, I think they're 5-0 both teams.
Nice. Yeah, that's probably the best round of 8 game. Yeah,
and
best quarterfinal game.
Sorry, Czech Republic, but I like to see a nice Denmark move on to the semifinals after there.
Because you might have, apologies if you said this before. I was looking up England's goals because the Czech beat who again? It was like a pretty good solid team, right?
It was Netherlands.
Yeah. Okay. Well, historically good anyway.
Denmark, of course, they're the Cinderella story, of course, with their Christian Eriksen.
Oh, right. Yeah. I forgot about that.
I'd like to see them move on.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'll probably try to lock into that Belgium-Italy game Friday at 3.
Yeah. Again, I took Friday off thinking we're gonna have a nice beach weekend, and weather sucks after this heat wave we have at the beginning of the week. I'm just locked, kind of cooped in here and everything. So that's kind of a bummer. So I guess I'll have some stuff to do on Friday afternoon. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Again, we kind of went off the cuff again. We've both been kind of busy. You just got back from LA last night about all the house stuff here, so I didn't really have much of an outline. I'm trying to think if there's any other items of note. Anything for football? I don't really either NFL or college. I don't know, but
is the match this weekend?
No, the match is weirdly like Tuesday. Yeah, I've been because there were ads for it during like the NBA playoffs. It's July 6th. I don't know why.
All right, well,
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm like July 6th. I'm like, I know for a fact it's a Tuesday. So that's
just
very
because they know
strange.
nothing will be on.
I guess like, yeah, you
Like
get people
they,
still like recovering from 4th of July. Maybe they're banking on people taking a whole week after. I don't know, but um, yeah. So that's a weird ring of the match. Um, yeah, I guess the Tour de France is happening right now. I guess,
sign lady.
but it's just like he just got like just started. Oh my god, started a domino effect there. Um, but yeah, I think that's all to hit on. I know what to hang up and immediately think of something random that happened. I think we hit on a lot of the coaching stuff for NBA, and yeah, I think that's kind of the bulk of it here as far as what's going on. So, uh, well, we'll let Mike get back to the mouse situation. Hopefully, he's eradicated that. But
Yeah,
um,
because try to get up early, go to the gym because I just got handed Sox tickets from tomorrow. So
oh yeah, wait,
yeah, through work. So
okay, nice. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad I because again I had we have fundraiser tomorrow night. I was like, oh, maybe we could do something after if tonight didn't work. But
yeah,
luckily,
it was
good to know
great.
that
It's gonna be the
wouldn't have
last.
worked anyway.
That's why I kind of was asking earlier because I was like, oh, I'll take him, but he seemed pretty busy. So
Yeah, but
Ellen.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in again. We'll be live and uploaded tomorrow. We'll tease it with a little bit of the Mousegate action, and we'll be back soon. Maybe a live one this weekend. Who knows? I don't know. Our schedules are coming up in the air. If we're down there, there's no real beach day going on. Maybe. What did
Yeah.
you say?
So yeah, there's nothing, no beach
Yeah.
to run to.
Yeah. So potentially, and if not, we'll be back next week sometime. So we'll kind of play that one by ear, and unless you have anything else to add, Mike, we can kind of sign off here.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sticking. Thanks for bearing with me during the Mustang. I know it was paused, but yeah.
Yeah. But thanks to me specifically, I think. But yeah, we'll see everyone next time, and I hope everyone has a great fourth weekend despite the weather. If we don't talk to you before then, but so keep posted on that one. Otherwise, I'll talk to you next week.